22-year-old Emily Belchus gets us underway. Canada in the red and the Black Ferns of New Zealand in black. Cox Edge gets us straight to Savage. Into the contact goes the big number 8. They go a little wide up, getting the forwards involved before they want to go wide to New Zealand. Sabritsky Nafatali into a breeze, keeps the ball low along the ground. Alari gets the welcoming committee from Kelly Brazier and a few forwards there. Out to the left go Canada, wanting to play the game at pace. Woodman with a tackle that was over the shoulder, that will be penalised on Tessier. They've still got the advantage, have Canada. New Zealand know just how dangerous this team is, and into the contact there goes Russell, Laura Russell. Jefferson is the halfback. They'll come back for the penalty. In fact, it's a new penalty with New Zealand not back. They tap and want to get on with it, do Canada. Nice kick along the ground. Winiata will have plenty of time to get to it. Gets Paquin at the same time. And now Canada look to try and steal the ball. Physical start right from the get-go.
Oh, great work there by...
They want to score tries at Canada, but better option may have been they've got the breeze at their back, and that's a good start for New Zealand. And the lineouts, the two number 2s come together, Farmasili and Russell. Counter ruck comes in from Canada. Play on, says the ref. Blackwell commits her body to the ball. They change here with Brazier going in at first receiver, and here's Nafatali working well, staying strong, the first 5 for New Zealand.
Leave it, stay.
Goss gets the ball. Sarah Goss, the New Zealand Sevens captain. Out to Brazier with that lovely right foot, good contact. And it just finds its way into touch. The scrum first. Again is a good one from New Zealand. They hold, they stay strong. Cox Edge. Sabritsky Nafatali along the chain. Out to Woodman. Woodman gets some space. Portia Woodman to Winiata. Winiata's going to score the first of the match. Wonderful play from the New Zealand backline. And Salika Winiata scores her 4th in Dublin.
Perfect time to strike for New Zealand, and who else to finish it off? Winiata off Woodman. The execution was absolutely on the money, and Woodman just around the back, adding the extra person to that back line, and Winiata the support play coming through for the pop pass. So they had numbers here in New Zealand when Woodman came into the line, and that Canadian defence, they really needed to shut it down outside.
Straight away, they score points.
Yeah, absolutely. A strike play off a scrum, and didn't they do it beautifully? They've been working on some new moves, the Kiwis, since that June tour in New Zealand. They realised that some of their moves had been worked out by the opposition, so maybe that's one of them.
The restart might go a bit too far. This might come all the way back to the halfway. Yes, it will. And once again indicating just how strong that breeze is that Canada have in the first 40 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that was a bad mistake. This is a great attacking opportunity in the middle of the field.
World Rugby's Player of the Year in 2015 is the halfback for New Zealand, Cox Edge. They look to go right. Savage gives it to Cox Edge. Looks for territory first. That's a lovely kick from the New Zealand halfback. Oh, she's judged it brilliantly. Larry had no other option but to watch it bounce. What a net gain for New Zealand.
Yeah, look, this was great from Cox Edge, because for the majority of this match so far, when they have had the ball, New Zealand has put it through their hands in the first couple of phases, but they varied up their attack there, and Ellery was the only one back by herself, but there she shows her experience, just letting it dribble over.
New Zealanders would have been happy if it didn't go out, put them under pressure, but now Russell with it. Defensive line out going high is Mack. Kayla Mack from Saskatoon. Line out works well, but now it comes out the back. That's carried back, and so a 5-metre scrum ball lost forward by Black.
Oh, look, there's a kick there from Russell on Sabritsky Nafatali. That is not good. But she'd gone up at the front here. It was good ball. Blackwell tried to rip it off, and it went forward. I don't know what happened here between... Oh, it was just an accident, but...
For the Canadians, 11 gone in the first half of this, the all-important Pool A match. Russell comes off the back, runs straight into Goss. Good contest there. Manages to hold on to possession. The counter-ruck comes in from New Zealand. And very little for Josephson to do, but now Nafatali holds her up, rips the ball out.
Backwards, by red.
Oh, they look like a knock-on to me.
Knocks the referee who's in charge of the game back to where Balchurch gets it. Doesn't really use the wind too much because it's only gone around 35 metres, and now Winiata gets it to Wycliffe. Wycliffe with her first touch of the game after 11.5 minutes. The clean-out is good. Good wide pass out to Winiata, to Waka. Brazier outside on the left. Kelly Brazier kicks and chases, won't get there.
Because she was under all kinds of duress. See, she was up in the defensive line to start with, had to scramble over. Harvey had to cover 2 players, and Ellery got back just to cover that little kick through. Great option from Brazier.
Yeah, Lisa Ellery been called on a couple of times, and now the restart. Is that out on the full? No, Wycliffe gets it into where Cox Edge to Nafatali. They'll try and find some space in behind the kick. It's well judged.
It's good to see some variation from New Zealand using the kicking game. Different weighted kicks as well, not necessarily going for distance there, but just looking to find where the space is and really working that back three.
We spoke about it, Mel, that they've been working on things, and we're seeing Kelly Brazier come into first 5 a lot more than we have in the first 2 matches of this World Cup. As Canada's line out that's been working at 94% is efficient again. Not a good pass out to where the captain is standing, and Kelly Russell in one of those trademark. Russell runs the dummy from Josephson. Means that she's put a lot of pressure onto Balchus, and now that's better. The ball again is lost forward in New Zealand. Have an advantage, and we'll get the scrum.
Canada just making a few mistakes here because the defence from the black jerseys is right up in their face, almost before.
From the Canadians in the first 2 matches, and we see that's evident just how strong that scrum is. There goes Russell. Gives it to Josephson, pops it off now. So some running ball for Canada. And Thornborough does a good job there. Is that knocked down intentionally? No, it's not. And here go Canada again. Wanting to play with pace. Big hit coming in from Itunu, I think it was. It was Nafatali, rather. That is a rib tickler. And one of the Canadian players is still on the ground. I think it's Balchus. And so they're missing their first 5. McEwen gets it. Still the Canadians down to 14. New Zealand have stolen it. Cox Edge has it. Throws it out to Nafatali, who made the tackle. Nafatali sees some space. The kick and chase from New Zealand again will find the sideline. And what a tackle from Victoria Sabritsky Nafatali.
Honestly, who would want her travelling at pace, coming on to defend you? And just take a look, she'd already pushed up and looked at the player she was going to defend. And as she collected the ball belt shot, Victoria Sabritsky Nafatali was there and then pulled off this brilliant kick. You would have put money on it at the Black Ferns sort of spun.
Defensive line out, they get up, they do compete to New Zealand, but it's been knocked forward now. Goss has it. New Zealand have possession. New Zealand might have their second try. Held up.
She was the one underneath. So stolen there in the air by Smith. They drove through New Zealand. Etinu pushed through, but Grusnick and also Blackwood were right there defending hard. Well done to them. Look at the leg underneath the ball.
Woodman again being brought out in the left, and you can see that her wingers stayed out there, so there is a numerical advantage here for the New Zealand backline. Zabritsky Nafatali takes it forward. They get to her quickly, and now the forwards are going to have to pick and go here.
Leave it, Fred, leave it now. Stay.
Now Tua gets assisted. Here goes Etunu again. Etunu's over. Strong play from New Zealand.
To the try line, there's no way they were giving that ball to the backs. Good communication from Fa'amasili to firstly get one of her props to drive through that. Then Etinu, who has been scrumming well and then getting involved in the tight nuggety stuff as well.
All good.
When you're that close, very difficult to stop big power players like that into this match.
Much better read there. Not kicking it too far, and here goes Aroha Savage, the builder from Auckland. Out to where McMenamin, who's played strong game in the number 8 shirt midweek, and now Sabritsky, Nafatali, Brazier, quick hands to Winiata. Ball, that was Waka actually to Winiata now. Falmasili in her 50th test cap goes forward again. The New Zealand captain McMenamin gets a short ball back to Blackwell. What a player she is. Eloise Blackwell, turnover by Canada, so it's stolen. Paquin has it. Paquin gives it left to Zusman. Again, the tackles from New Zealand have been made. And once again, the Canadians, the ball is slow.
Silent 3, 5.
Tap and go.
Keep going.
Josephson,
Player now.
Kelly. 2 number 8s come together. That's the halfway mark that you can see. So Canada just inside New Zealand half. Belchus throws the ball out to where Tessier gets the shoulder from her opposite in Waka. Now the forwards through McEwen.
Leave it now, Black.
Play on, says the ref, so well judged by Smith, who came through. And now it's out to Natua. Natua with some space. Brought down inside the 22. Canada look interested. Canada will get the penalty. She got isolated, and they didn't get to her quick enough. Lovely play there from Harvey to get across and stop something that was certainly looking dangerous.
So how about this? Stepping on the inside of a second 5'8" there, Thornborough. She used to be a number 8 Natua, only recently converted to prop. Showed it with the speed, but well done to Harvey. Canada often get numbers after the tackle, don't they? That's how they're getting quite a bit of turnover ball so far.
What a tremendous run from the loose head prop. Toka Natua, have a look at this. There's the turnover, and then there's that pace, the graphic designer. Just got a little bit isolated, didn't she?
Yeah.
Quickly, please.
Yeah, that's
quickly,
quite a telling statistic there. New Zealand conceded 4 penalties. That's a bit of a worry.
Again, more possession for Canada in the lineouts. Belchus gets it out. They throw it to where Paquin's standing. That's been lost forward. And so there's an advantage here. I'll come back for that now. Canada just 72. Pressure in the scrum again, though, from Canada. Savage gets it to Cox Edge. Takes it to the line. Lovely short ball to Nafatali. Support there from Goss. Ball is there. The counter-up comes in from Russell. They clear it and get it out to Blackwell. Hard work in lock. Eloise Blackwell, and now Itunu wants more tries. The forwards going to work here. Farmasili goes 4 short. Again, it's picked up from Blackwell. She's 2 short now. And Itunu is over! Oh, the front rows have scored twice in the match.
So far is the New Zealand number 3. Her sister's on the bench waiting to get on as well. And take a look at the body position, the leg drive, that power, and the numbers of the black jerseys, and no competing there from the Canadian team. This is a great Canadian scrum.
I think they have somebody on to just steady the ship there. Savage gets it out to Cox Edge. Thought about kicking, then gives it to Winiata. Now Woodman. Portia Woodman gets rid of Sussman. Gets rid of the second as well. Portia Woodman. Ball is there. Cox Edge stepped on the line. But Portia Woodman, player of the year in the sevens in 2015. 142 tries in sevens and 9 in this competition. Boomfa.
Well, she's made more clean breaks than anyone else. She's broken more defenders' tackles, and she's made more meters, and this is why she is a powerhouse. Who can handle that? The body position, the bump. Great to watch.
That's not straight. Inside.
Not straight.
Just starting to have some problems here, more through frustration. And so it's Nafatali that's on the side of the scrum for New Zealand. Only 6 backs here. Brazier goes across. It's Woodman who comes back in the angle. Nice tackle there from Tessier. To the left they go again. Smith loops it back to her locking partner in Blackwell. Again, it's out to the left. Winiata. Not too many options here for Salika Winiata. Again, it goes to ground. And now Blackwell gives it back to Matau. She gives it back to Blackwell, who's looped around. The clean-up needs to get there quickly, and it does. Coxedge gets it, throws the dummy. Kendra Coxedge. 3 short. The rumble is called, and so the forwards know that that's their time to get the ball, and the ball's been lost forward. So an error here from New Zealand, a good opportunity for Canada to get some real estate and get some territory.
Use it.
Hammer. The call means that Menon picks up and goes.
Stay.
Now Laura Russell tries to find some
Release,
meters in around the close channels.
Stay.
Back in the pocket is Belchus.
Advantage is over.
And the advantage is over. 50th cap, 5th World Cup. Fiao Farmasili. And that ball finds its target. Ball off the top to Nafatali. It's Savage, actually, the number 8, into the contact. Here goes Smith. Smith to Blackwell. They're working well, the 2 locks for New Zealand. Blackwell stays strong, holds on to the ball. To the right they go, Brazier, the dummy, and then they give it off here to Waka! Waka's over! Brilliant run from Waka. And how many times do we see teams that are down to 14 players find something?
Bell and Smith are 2 locks in the middle of the field. There's Smith there, looks up and sees Blackwell in her 40th test cap today, and Brazier heads up play. She saw the defence was broken. It was a better option to...
It was a knock on. It actually came off the leg, and I think that's what the fans were saying. Was there a knock on there? But look at New Zealand now. Bring the ball down, an easy 15 metres becomes 17. Hard to believe they've only got 7 forwards on the field at the moment. New Zealand. Farmasili gives it back to Coxedge. Nafatali. Not afraid to go into the contact as Sabritsky. Nafatali. What a run from the number 10, and she continues to go. Coxedge to Brazier. The crossfield kick along the ground. Ellery does well to get the ball, and now it's been stolen by Waka. The turnover out to Wycliffe. Harvey gets there, and what a tackle from Magali Harvey.
Touch, captain.
That's a certain try scorer.
Touch. So you want line out or scrum? Scrum.
Harvey,
Scrum.
try saver there, wasn't
Red
it?
ball.
And somehow I think Waka, but look at Sabritsky
Red ball
Nafatali
is
and what
not-
she offers.
it's
She's
not
not,
going in touch.
I guess, your typical first 5'8", is she?
Scrum.
Because she's such a big power player as well. But Waka stole the ball. It was there like a present. Nearly got the pass back in to Winiata, did Wycliffe. But she was in contact with it there.
0 and 15-0 against Wales, and Hong Kong with the 2 scorelines, and New Zealand have pasted 24 in the opening 37 minutes.
Stay 9.
And they'll get back to 15 players in a moment. Canada looking to run it from their own goal line.
Tackle.
Thornborough does well. Sets up a better angle now, back to where Belchus has it. Nice contact. And a tremendous exit play from Canada. Get on with it to New Zealand. Wycliffe to Winiata. Bounces back the blind side. Winiata throws it out to Wycliffe. 1 to beat. Well, she threw it. It is a hallmark of the 4-time champions, and it gets back to where Blackwell goes into the contact. They look to go a little bit wider here. McMenamin steps over the ball. The backs want it. Quick ball using Wycliffe from the left wing.
Knock on advantage.
Advantage here for New Zealand.
Knock on advantage. Knock on.
And this is Savage. She's been good today as Aroha Savage.
Knock on
Out
advantage is
to
over.
Coxedge. Nafatali. Wide pass from Nafatali. Brazier. Here comes that try I was talking about. And in goes Kelly Brazier.
Try.
Stunning.
It's the 1-2 of her, Sabritsky, Nafatali and Brazier, because they're both first 5s. They're offering so much when it comes to decisions, and that time it was all just too easy for Brazier.
Yeah,
Lovely
thanks.
ball from the number 10 to the number 12, and too much
Yeah.
speed around Mac there,
Thank you.
and they're happy.
But Canada going to the bench early. 2 replacements have been made. New Zealand with the same starting 15. Savage gets it out to Coxedge. Wycliffe comes running, and she lost it forward. No, play on. Paquin tidies up. They run into the contact. Dirk has lost the ball forward. It's gone backwards, says the ref, so Canada still have possession, but they're finding it difficult to get outside their own half. Russell with another carry there.
Use it.
Now they work in pods of 3. Again, that's a nice run coming from outside in into where the defence is. Canada have possession, and Russell gets rid of it quickly. Now out to Larry. They've got numbers here, Canada, and they've spotted the gap, and now this is the best break out to Zusman. She's got pace. There's Julian Zusman.
Knock on advantage.
Inside the New Zealand half, they've got the advantage. Another penalty will be coming the Canadians' way.
Stay.
If nothing comes from this, the back line is there. Belchus.
Knock on advantage.
The wide pass out to Harvey. Harvey on Wycliffe. Harvey offloads to Gruznik.
Advantage knock on is over. Leave it, leave
So
it.
it was just a knock on. The advantage is over now for the Canadians.
Leave it.
Russell takes it in. Belchus out to Russell. Again out to Burke. Burke now gets it. Elari throws the dummy. New Zealand all hands on deck now for the defence. The counter-ruck they think about going in for. Now Burke gets it. Burke holds up, gets it to Russell. Russell into the 22. Good patient build-up this from the Canadians. Desperate to try and score some points.
Use it,
There is Zusman who started it. Again, it's Laura Russell this time. Now the pass from Josephson. Belchus. Some decoy runners and numbers. Nice sidestep there. Coming in from Thornborough.
It's out,
Ball is out, and so you can play at it. New Zealand comes through. Belchus goes and commits her body to the ball. 13 phases we've gone.
Use it, Red.
And Canada have gone 75 metres. They change the tactic and look for the pick and go again. Josephson out to Thornborough. And now it's Menon. Nice drive from the tight head prop.
Leave it now.
Josephson gets it in, they've lost it. Wycliffe kicks it. Harvey goes back. Magley Harvey throws the dummy, gets Winiata, now throws it infield. Bokaboom gets taken.
Yeah, improved in that area now, Canada, haven't they? 32 game line success. They were only up to 21 at half-time.
Nice driving maul from the New Zealanders. The captain takes it off the back. Brazier in at first receiver. Nafatali standing at second 5. Comes back
Backwards.
into the contact. And, of course, Canada will need a bonus point. Nice run here from Nafatali. Zabritsky, Nafatali, Canada need a bonus point if they want to progress in the competition. Brazier beats some defenders with some sidestepping out to Winiata. Winiata looking for some space for Woodman. Woodman not held. Now the support arrives. The ball to Savage. A lovely hit coming in from Blackwood. That's a great contest there, and now New Zealanders have numbers out to the left. McMenamin couldn't get the pass out. Nice read there from Bokaboom. Quick hands required. Here's Natua. Natua goes 7 short. Harvey makes the tackle. Coxedge gets it. Some running ball from the little halfback. New Zealand building phases. This is Blackwell. Close again, New Zealand. Farmasili on her 50th international.
Started from the back line. Here it is here. Zabritsky Nafatali on the inside ball. She's got a lovely step as well. Power player. Coxedge involved here. The blow over was good. The ball and just driven over there. I actually think it was Blackwell that made that initial break, and then Farmasili looked up and saw the line.
Yeah, the big scrum comes in from the Canadians, and Savage has no other option but to take the ball off the back, and they've lost it. This is why this Canadian team were finalists in 2014, but they've lost the ball, and now Coxedge says, let's get out of here. Harvey comes back. The bounce is all important, and it bounces up for the Canadians. Belchus gets it into the tackle of Smith. Gruznik does well.
Stay.
Canada will look now just to try and work the forwards into a position. Slow ball to Belchus. Out to Russell, who stands out in the midfield. The pass here is nice, quick hands to Paquin. Out now to Ilari, gets it into Zusman. Not out, so gets and goes again. Here's the first try, and she's blowing the whistle. The tackle.
They had New Zealand defence scrambling there because Woodman had come off and tried for the big hit, and that meant that they had numbers.
Just do it.
There's the incident. So
Thanks.
yeah, knee on the ground. That means you have to put the ball on the deck. Lovely little cutback though, read well by Waka. Brazier heard the ref.
New Zealand again playing possession in the front of the line. Now that's a good win from Blackwell. Nafatali to Woodman. Looking to try and get involved off the right wing as Woodman, but Burke has gone straight over the top and stolen it, and so Canada have possession. Here's Kelly again patrolling out in the midfield as the captain, Kelly Russell. They go the same way. Chase looks to try and run it through, committing to the ball. The Canadians and just wanting possession. Out in the back line, there are plenty of there, but another unforced error, and so New Zealand with the turnover. This is where New Zealand is so dangerous. Turnover ball, they normally look to try and push it as quickly as they can, as wide as they can, and Nafatali says, let's get out of here with the kick over the top. The kick might be too heavy here. Roll into the 22, so it'll be a restart
22.
From the 22.
Just want to talk about Sabretsky Nafatali. She plays very narrow. You often see her make tackles on forwards. She gets involved in that contact area. She's unlike any first five probably in the men's and women's game really, but she really makes good decisions too.
Well, Canada had played had scored 113 points in the two matches, 160 minutes, and in this game they have not scored anything. Play America, who are on 10 points as well, with 2 bonus points from their victory. So there's lots to tell. There's still plenty to be written by the authors of this World Cup in 2017 as Wycliffe again makes a nice charge. Blackwell, who's been so strong today, so committed in her core responsibilities, good at getting the ball there. Nafatali, in fact, that Savage picks up and goes. Gosh, they're so good in that in close quarters are the New Zealand forwards. They really have decided to take Canada on up the middle, and here's Goss. Now Coxedge gets it out to Nafatali. In and out. Nafatali beats Russell. Then gets it over to Winiata. Winiata to the corner. He's throwing the ball out to Wycliffe.
Oh, Sabretsky Nafatali, she's like a piano player playing a brilliant tune. That beautiful little pass. Winiata maybe should have straightened up, given that ball a little bit earlier for a winger.
Okay, Ali, this is the best angle.
Yep.
Eloise Blackwell is the player in question here from New Zealand.
Yes, it's
Sideways
a clear
movement by Black 4.
Yes, so it's a neck roll, twisting the player to the ground.
Sorry, Ali, say again.
So it's a neck roll around the neck, twisting the player to the ground, bringing the player to the ground.
Yes, that's correct.
It's a dangerous neck roll for me.
Yes.
So it's yellow card.
A yellow card
Player
against
safety.
Black 4.
Yeah, Black 4, thank you. Thank you. Captain, Black 4. 4.
We'll listen in.
Yeah, okay. So it's just around the neck, but it's dangerous. She brings the players to the ground. It's player safety, so it's yellow card.
The second yellow card. Russell off the back to Josephson, then holds the ball up to Burke. Burke in the tackle of Brazier. They'll get the penalty. They said that she didn't roll away, and they want to get on with it. Canada, they've got the numerical advantage. Again, it's quick ball, and again, it's gone backwards. And Fatali makes the tackle. Support finally arrives, and they clear it out to the left. Grusnik. A short ball, and it's a good pass as well into Bokaboom. They have to go backwards again. Zusman commits herself to the ground, gets Woodman at the same time, and Canada here have possession. Again, they'll work it in close. Another carry from Grusnik. A little bit wider on that occasion, but New Zealand again making tackles and forcing the error back to Winiata. Winiata with a big pass out to Brazier. Brazier sees a little bit of space in between where Elari and the front line was.
Stay back.
Fresh legs for the Canadians now, looking to try and work in the hard channels down Main Street. In close is where they go again now. Elari gets it and pops the pass off nicely to Mervyn. Canada looking for their first points of the game. That's the halfway line, you can see, so they've just entered the New Zealand half. Some decoy runners, and they get it wide to Paquin. Paquin will step, Paquin will go through the gap, then the offload to Russell. Kelly Russell offloads to Zusman. Zusman's quick, one more pass. Grusnik will get there. Team try for
game now. Canada speeding things up, and just at the right moment they chose to go wide. Paquin tackled by Sarah Goss, but they kept the ball alive. Zusman knew she had the support from Grusnik just on her inside shoulder there on the right. Fabulous. It's about time we've seen them do what we know that they pull off so many other times. They just needed a bit of pull, bit of pill, and a little bit of space.
So 3 more tries and they're in the business. The restart from Brazier finds some territory, and then it finds the captain Russell. Good play up is Kelly Russell. There's another error. Goss gets it, gives it to Nafatali. Nafatali goes through. Zabritsky Nafatali holds the ball up, gives it back to Goss, who started it. So an error there from Canada, and immediately they go on the attack to the Black Ferns. Out to Wycliffe. Wycliffe gets over.
The fitness she's showing out there to get involved at the beginning. There she is picking the ball up. She was hard up on D. Who else but Zabritsky Nafatali, showing that strength and power to stand up in the tackle. Goss was right there as well. And then it was great skills from the front rower and the lock to get it out to the little winger who finished it off. Since I've seen Brazier kicking for goal for New Zealand. Look at that. It was Natua passing off to Smith. And just the basic.
America have 10. France have 10. And that's the problem for the Canadians. But New Zealand go on the attack. Brazier gets it out to Fitzpatrick. A lovely little dinky pass over to Winiata. Winiata throws the dummy. Had a player on the outside. Opted to take the tackle. Hohepa was there. Turnover possibly. Yes, it is. Canada have stolen it.
You sit right.
Better option may have been to pass on that occasion, but Canada dodge a bullet here in Dublin for this Pool A match, and it's Savage who brings it down. Sue gets it out to Nafatali. Off the right foot goes the first 5. Forwards arrive early. Sue gets it again. Smith out to Talawandua. Now they're 4 short on New Zealand. Same way they go. Fitzpatrick. Teresa Fitzpatrick. Just 1 metre short. They'll pick and go here, New Zealand. And again they score.
She says it all. She's always there, isn't she? A good little jink from Fitzpatrick. Nearly took out 3 defenders by herself. But when the ball is that close to the line, there is no way a prop is going to blow over and leave it for the halfback. It's like chocolate in the candy box, isn't it? Such an exciting arvo of play.
I think you're eating the good chocolates first of all. Plenty to come. And this World Cup, Kelly gives it back as they loop around, and now trying to create some space, trying to get the ball into the hands of Zusman. They know how quick she is. Eventually they get there. Then the forwards who started it way out wide get possession through Kirby. She was at the 2014 World Cup. Belchus gets it, and Kelly again at second receiver. Out to where Waters is. It's gone backwards. That was Burke actually in jersey 22. Not too many options, and there is the try scorer, Grusnik. They change the tactic here, and Dermashant goes in close. The penalty here, not onside, and they tap and go to the Canadians. Here's Russell. Again, some dummy and some decoy runners. They've got some players out to the left, but Burke decides to take it on her own. Now she offloads to Waters. Brittany Waters out of BC.
He's there. He's there. Leave it.
Counter ruck is good from New Zealand. Sue steals it. Fitzpatrick to Woodman. Nice tackle coming in from Julianne Zusman and Portia Woodman. Here's Savage, throws it out to Webb. Nice hands taken in from Talawandua. And then they loop around. Brazier plays a little bit of football with it. Brazier chasing. And Larry gets there first. And Larry does a great job of keeping possession. A couple of players down from both teams in back plate. But we'll stay with the action with where the ball is. And they'll choose at the Gruznik. Slow ball, and the line speed from New Zealand is so good that that's the problem that the Canadians have here, is that there's just no way through. There's staunch and stoic defence. Ball on the inside, and then the offload there. Backwards it's gone, and here goes Burke. Gets it back to Paquin. Still running is the open side flanker. Finally they get their players back. Thornborough spent a bit of time down. Kelly gets it out to some of the new players, and then the miracle ball around the corner. Didn't want to flirt with the touchline, and that's a good option, is to come back in field to where your support players are. Quickly it's recycled. And once again, those first up tackles been made. Talawandua for New Zealand on that occasion. It's cleared. Russell at first receiver. Throws a wide pass. They've got some numbers here, have the Canadians. And Paquin has it. And that pass looked a little forward. And it's been knocked on as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Real opportunity. Nice scrum. Nafatali puts it along the ground. Zusman comes across. She'll win the race easily. Nafatali is there looking for the counter ruck, looking to try and steal possession. What does the ref say? Penalty! New Zealand looking for 50 as well. They tap and go with Tunu. Gets it out to Smith. Brazier, the kick along the ground. Wycliffe is racing. Hohepa. Ball on the inside. New Zealand hit 50. In fact, they've hit the touchline. That's what they've done. Not back 10, so they'll get another penalty.
So 10 meters back. Yeah, no, here, please.
Sparkling skills, though, wasn't it? That little back pass of Wycliffe.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
To Winiata.
29-0 was the half-time score. And they've added an extra 19 in the second half. They kick it out. And the referee says that is time. And the New Zealand Black Ferns' road to redemption continues in Ireland. They have beaten Canada in a clinical performance with a scoreline that reads New Zealand 48, Canada